Okay, recap on Monday, the 6th of October 2025, right? So today is a Monday with a possible NFP because the government shut down. Last week we don't have NFP. This week we do, might do. It's still tentative, so it's possible. And for that reason, it's okay to trade Mondays, right? If they're clear on NFP weeks, it's actually better to trade early in the week than later in the week. And for me personally, I'd like also trading what do you call it, NFP day itself if it comes, regardless. Anyway, today is Monday. I believe it's a no news Monday, and we also have no news tomorrow as well. So I'm not expecting anything crazy for the market action or anything logic, right? So that's about it. So that's my bias. I'm looking to get something very close, very out, right? Thing is, I didn't think I'd gonna trade this Monday. That's why I didn't bother to wake up. But when I woke up, price was already here, right? And I can't lie, after that, like I was seeing it and I was like, if it goes, it goes. But if it can wait for me to like just do like my morning routine, bro, and then I can get on the chart, right? I'm not just gonna get out of my bed straight up, jump on the chart. I'm gonna go wash my face, brush my teeth, just wake up for a second, and then if it's still there, I'll take the trade, right? So let's just explain the day. As you can see, not too many lines for today because there was literally basically only one possibility that I can see the day go. So that's why we can start let's start this with the 4 hour, right? Um Last week on Friday, especially when we went down all the way, I did not like this low, and till now I still do not like this low. However, for today, the price made it clear that we're going up once we close above this bearish fair value gap right here, right, in London. So, and how do we close above it? We actually go fill it, and once we go down, we come down and we fill the gap, right? But in terms of levels, we fill the upper quadrant of the inefficiency, right? Which includes this volume imbalance. So it's gonna look like this, right? From here to here. So that's the upper quadrant, which makes London low of the day, technically, right? A really lower day because it's Sunday or whatever, but like, lower day in terms of profile. Again, after that, now we know that London will be the low, right? So what do we expect? We expect a continuation into New York or a reversal, right? So me expecting a continuation, right? Because we're just bullish. And yes, we did come and take this high out, right? So we could technically be bearish, but then we're gonna have to see what price does first before um before reacting onto it, because it could have went down today. It could have just went reverse and said nah, right? The market structure in itself, if it left like these lows intact with London, then maybe that's possible, but it looks like it's trying to leave this range. So by just looking at it, that's kind of experience thing. But look, for objective reasons, here's the 4 hour, right? It's the only PD array, right? Because remember, we're at all-time high. I can't really get anything from the daily time frame at this point to give me a PD array that I'm comfortable using. Okay. Um, the only thing is these wicks, and I do not really care that much. I know that I could find something for the tick, but I know just using the 4 hours more than enough for today. I don't really care that much. So we see our PD array for New York is this fair value gap, right? This little one. And this is the London expansion. Then this is the one for New York, right? But as you can see as well, there's a green line, right? It has to be under this green line. What this green line is for me is at least the equilibrium of the current range. And the current range is from the last time we reached discount, which was London, right here, to this highest high at 8. Oh, that high was at 8. Okay, I'm tweaking. So this needs to go up here. All right. So that high was at 8, right? So and then we go down, 9:30 starts, and we dump, right? We dump where? To discount. Because if we're gonna buy back up, right? I'm only interested at PD arrays at discount. And remember, for my continuation model, like in whatever variation, but like the simple easy one that I know for these type of days is first discount, then liquidity. What's this? This is the initial liquidity, right? So discount, liquidity, and then PD array. There's no PD arrays other than that 4-hour gap, right? Then there's additional stuff that will make it A plus blah blah A whatever, right? And just rank it up for the setup itself. But we have to have these 3 elements in order: discount, then liquidity, then PD array. As you can see, there was one entry based on them 3 criterias, right? The additional stuff is SMT, macro, and what's the third thing am I tweaking? SMT, macro, like the internal sweeps, whatever. I can't like I don't even like go through these orders in my head. I just based on what I see, right? But if I want to keep it as objective as possible, that's how it is. Anyway, entry right here, right? And I spoke about the way for entry so many times, but more time will be getting someone to here. Stop loss under this low, and again, what you're looking for, the stop loss doesn't move until we close the 5-minute gap, right? That goes against us, and as you can see, there's no 5-minute gap against us. So 4-minute, I know there's not in the 4-minute, it's a 3-minute right there, right? We don't fully close it, we need to close above it, right? We close right at the bodies, and we keep going down, right? And then this is all expected until here, right? Here now we have our first external range, SMT. Now we know, right? This is a premature entry, but it's based on the model. Like more time, I'm not expecting it to be the reversal, but it could lead to be the reversal, and this could be a protected low. So it all just depends. You have to enter it, and then you have to find out later. It's one of them ones, right? So now that we have this external SMT with ES, right? ES takes its London low right there, while making a lower low, and we have a higher high here, right? But that's cool. Now we're looking at what price does, right? It goes up, attempts again, but we're gonna be looking at the 1 minute to see what's really going on. We see that it takes this is cool, and then goes down lower, and then now this is my giving it the final chance basically, right? It went up, it went down, it filled it, it went down, but this going down is already sus. However, we have not reached discount, so I do not care until we reach discount or the range, right? This is not discount. Discount on the range right there, because this does not matter, right? Because we miss it. I need to see how it reacts when we go above discount. I want some speed. I want a gap. I want a closure. When it goes up like this and comes down, especially that now we're aiming for a reversal, right? See, it could have done that here, and it wouldn't matter because we still don't have that external SMT. We don't have that market structure for us to go up yet, which means this low is still not safe. However, if we go above here, that this low should be safe, right? And then in turn, the stop loss goes to break even instantly. However, now this just comes to experience. Do you really think it's gonna be safe, or do you think we're gonna come back and take it, right? And if you can see, we have relative equal lows, and the market still looks like it's weak, right? So stop loss, if you can just ram it up all the way to like some invalidation point for you. For me personally, I'd have it at this low, and once we take that low, that's it. I'm stopping profit, but I'm looking to re-enter again under this low because there's no point of taking that low, waiting for it to go all the way back to break even. Okay, because it broke all the rules, and for it to go up, it needed to go up. I mean, what? Yeah, for it to go up, it's done everything. So if it's gonna go up, it should have gone up here. That means it's going down. So we took it to equilibrium. That's trade one theoretically. If I was awake, I'm not awake at this time. I'm still sleeping because I didn't think I was gonna trade today. Now, the second SMT is this internal SMT where ES goes up, right? This actually is the low, right? Like it should have been. But for NQ, it said nah, it wants to go more low, right? So now let's just look at ES. Where's ES? Right? Here, 1010 and 1042, right? That is this internal SMT that has been made. And on top of that, we go to the bottom of that 4-hour fair value gap. There is some PD arrays lower, but I wouldn't expect it or want it to go any lower, right? Because again, now it's the same thing. Discount, then liquidity, then PD array. It could have literally stopped anywhere here. However, this going all the way to close it and then wicking back and closing above this just shows that this is definitely taking it out. Again, I see this, I enter, it's like all my other entries. However, I'm still sleeping. I think I wake up around here and I'm like, damn. Like I didn't even draw anything on the chart. Like just visually looking at it and just like getting this price level. I seen what was happening, but I knew I missed my entry technically. But I was like, I'll wait for this inversion fair value gap. It's the only thing that I see on the 1 minute time frame that I can maybe trust, right? So now this is what I framed my entry on. And once it went down to the inversion, I think I just bought, knowing that it could go lower because there's a 5 minute whatever gap, right, or something. It could wick into like it just did here. Stop loss at this low. This is, even though to me this is not like to normal trading, this is not chasing it, because now you got your markets, you got your changing state and delivery, you got your order blocks. Like the structure definitely changed. For me, I don't like entering anything that high. My entries would be like all the way at this area or whatever, and that's why even for the TP, right, the TP is obvious, right? The TP is just, now we took sell side, we're looking for buy side, and because we're bullish, right? This was a target 930 high, and this was a target because it's the initial buy side, right? So now let's get rid of these lines. So I take this trade and I get out here when we had an SMT with ES, because we could have, like we had an SMT with these highs, we could have literally just dropped down again, right? Because we made these relative equal lows. But from here it's a 50-50. So if I took partials, if I bought here, I probably would have taken partials and then would have left the rest to go up here. But I didn't, so I just got out here, made the, I can't remember how much you made, but just whatever for the day, and that's it. It's just done with the trade from Monday. Pretty simple trade, really, not too much to like look at really. Again, it's the same thing every day at this point. It's kind of getting like low-key boring, because like it's just the same thing. But you know, of course, I'm grateful that I can understand it, that I can see it, that I can, you know, that's what I've been asking for. It's just me to get like this good at it where I can cut through all the candles, all this BS. Like, you know, I'm not I'm not like before, like, oh, fair value gap, let me buy it here, all that BS, right? Because this is all noise, right? This is all noise. The only fair value gap that matters on for like the 1 minute would have been this fair value gap right here, right? This fair value gap if you like for buying for the day, you know. But it's barely closing below it, and it's wicking down to this wick, right? I don't know what this wick is. Is it gonna offer like the 0.5? No, didn't even get to CE. However, still, I wouldn't even enter that. Right now, I literally would enter at 15 seconds. I've noticed every time I'm entering, I'm literally entering. The second I see a reaction, that's like few entries, the first gap on the 15-second, right? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This one's a bit too high. Boom, there. I'd have entries there. I'll just carry it on there and stop loss be that low. I'm glad I got to this point, and I'm glad I'm executing on it. And what for the first time in how long? I actually have 4 green weeks, right? My maximum losing trades are like there's just one day through the month, through like the 4 weeks, that is like 480. But then the rest, then the second biggest one is 300, and then the rest of the days, if I'm losing, is like 150, 130, 90, and that's about it. You see, I like how I got down the loss, like way below, right? Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I just don't care, right? And it like because I enter so low, if it stops me out, I lose like what, $50, $100. And like let's say I got stopped out here, because yeah, I get a lot of break evens because like for example, I get this entry, and then back then I didn't know. Well, back then I'm literally talking about a week ago. I didn't know what would make it come back down and when to even go to break even and when to take profit. Now I spent this whole weekend, like I genuinely spent almost 12 hours a day in this weekend. So basically 24 hours, just literally just looking, reviewing, adding, whatever. Right. And now I know when and when it's not gonna do that to us a certain degree, right? That's good enough for me to capitalize on this and then wait for this and then do it again. Right. So have two moves in one, right? And it does this a lot, especially last week. It did it way more than normal. Just like it's going up, but it's not really strong, right? But I know it's on news, like very strong news. It'll just come up once and then just go, right? Because you already done this type of business. Anyway, let's stop with the waffle. Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that like I think what it was definitely at least plus more than 500 for the trade, and that is really good because if you look at it in when my goal is to be trading at least 5 accounts, well, that's like 2.5K on a Monday, and I'm really not even trying, right? The fact that I didn't even draw a single line on my chart when I traded. That's how much I wasn't even trying because like I just know, right? Like this was like them obvious days, but like the fact that it's also on Monday, it's garbage price action. I can cut through all the BS, see exactly what it does, and enter, and like I don't care about, oh, this inversion fair value gap is not like holding properly or whatever, because I know if I go to the higher time frame, we still bodies are not closing built. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too like fussed about this and that, Like I just because I know I'm trading into the right direction, the right whatever. I know what should be the low of the day, what the low of the session should be, if the idea is true. So I know my stop loss should be protected no matter what, and I don't need to move it, and then I can just do whatever with my day. And I even know when it's gonna reverse, right? To even prove it to you, for example, here on paper, of course, I lock my accounts after everything, right? I know when it's gonna reverse, when it's likely. After all my confirmation I needed, I enter, right? I just mark an entry here. I wasn't watching it, like it was on the other screen. But once I seen it done what it done, I would have tried to enter on the breaker, of course. Right? And as you can see, here we take this high, boom, boom, make the breaker, right? Changing. This is a 2022 model, just looking at it, yeah. But change state of delivery, go back to 0.5 fair value gap in the 0.5, right? This is within it, so this fair value gap. And was that in the breaker, whatever? Whenever I've seen it, I literally just marked it ordered entry. Stop loss above here. Where's the target? Clean lows from lunch, relative equal lows, right? That's a one contract risking what, 250 to make 1,000 something, right? Yes, it's paper, but it's practice for something like let's say I didn't catch this garbage long. This is my safe model. This is just me trying to catch final hour macro because I just know what it's gonna do. Anyway, trading is becoming more simple each day. Is like at this stage it's just I just need to ground myself and like, you know, accept just taking this one trade type of thing, which I'm doing. One trade to, why did I even get out? I think somewhere here, right? This, and the fact that I entered late, literally woke up here, I entered late and still just focus on catching the portion of the move, right? If I'm try harding, if I'm thinking I'd get this low, I'd get it all the way to this high type of like day if it's all the probabilities are there, you know. But these 2 or 3 months, right? I want to focus on, like what I said. I wrote 750 is my maximum profit target, which makes me not care about getting all the way up there and sometimes it reversing like it did on Friday, right? So it's about making money when I'm even wrong, right? That's what it's about. So let's say I go in here. Yes, I'm wrong. This might not the low, but I still made money. And I can also enter again because I already have a buffer set, right? See what I'm saying? So it's about making money when you're wrong, right? And I understood that. And making money when you're wrong means you make a lot because every time you like up, and I'm almost always up, right? Before there's a loss, right? And now I put the rules and now I can capitalize on it. All I have to do is just get my, I set for myself, for my personal self, for the 5 MNQs, right? That's what I'm gonna stick with for the next 3 months. 5 MNQs, 750 each trading day that I want to trade, right? I don't want to even trade every day. My target for the week could be making 1.5k, so that's like 2 days that I trade and that's it. Done. You know? And whatever, this 750, whatever trading day, like I said, with 5 accounts, that's like 30k, around 30 to 60k a month, right? 30k if I'm trading once a week. And wait, let me get that right. 750, 1.5 will be 6k. 6k a month. Yeah, 30k if I'm trading just the minimum basically, and 60 if I'm trading like more. So anyway, it's definitely a lot of money, and in that whole time I could actually now be making money while learning and adjusting and perfecting all my models till I'm very confident into putting more risk, and it's just a numbers game from there. Yeah. um but yeah, just a simple day again. And God that I'm at this stage. And yeah, peace out.